If you with it, drop it.
Thank you for joining another episode of Locked Up and Locked Out, the podcast. I have my distinguished guest, Mr. Brian Love Jordan. It's very important while we're here today on this Sunday morning. Can you tell the people what's going on and how can we get active and what's needed? And just dive in, man.
So here in Connecticut, I'm Love with the Coalition Community Healing and Justice Reform and Guided by Purpose. And we have, with the help of Representative Kadeen Roberts, introduced Senate Bill 503. And it is a bill to revisit juvenile parole.
Okay.
And it will approximately make, it's hundreds of people eligible for a second look that are serving lengthy sentences. So 10 years up to, life sentences for some of these gentlemen, unfortunately. And the bill last week passed the Senate.
Okay. One major hurdle.
Yeah, big major hurdle. Passed the Senate, it went through appropriation, so it's fully funded. It's been $1 million set aside for this bill. That was the week before last. And then it passed the Senate. And now it's up for the House vote, which is the last vote before it's passed into law.
Okay.
And that vote is tomorrow, which is Monday the 6th, I believe.
Yes.
Yes. So the Monday the
Yes.
6th at the LOB 300 Capitol Avenue in Hartford, Connecticut. It's starting around between 9 and 10, they're saying. So somewhere in that time, we'll be there about 8:30, and it's expected to last about 15 hours. So It's a marathon.
So my thing, for people that don't know or know the language of when they hear helping people get out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, does that mean that everybody is the floodgates is going to be open and people just going to be coming out, or is it some type of quota that has to be met, or standard?
So
how does this look?
So what SB 503 does is it does a few things. One, it raises the age of what the juvenile is to 25 and under. So it would affect that population, and it will remove a prior cutoff date they had in there of October 1st, 2005, that you had to be sentenced by. But it also, you have to have a minimum of 10 years to qualify. And this 503 doesn't release anybody.
Okay.
So 0 people will be released because of 503.
Okay.
They will become eligible, and the way eligibility works under this bill, it's a 1-year process that each individual has to go through. They have to be evaluated by mental health. They have to be evaluated by social workers, reentry coordinators, a slew of people, lawyers. They all be appointed a lawyer, and different advocates. And each one of those individuals will prepare a report. That report will go to the parole board and to the victim's advocate. And then your hearing will be scheduled, and then the parole board will then determine if you're suitable. We are saying you're eligible. Only the parole board can determine if you're suitable for release.
Okay.
After all that's done, and that's generally taking 1 year.
That's great, because at the end of the day, we don't want nobody walking away misinformed.
Yes.
Thinking it's this way when it's totally the opposite. So there's a lot of checks and balances that y'all have in this bill to make sure nobody fall through the cracks or nobody weasel their way out that are not suitable
for release.
For release. Yeah.
And one thing that's important to what we've done previous to this bill, a mental health evaluation wasn't required.
Right.
For any parole process,
Right.
juvenile or not, we have added that.
That's vital.
So people will be before the board. They will get a mental health evaluation. So when they are a part of their release plan, when they
Right.
are on parole, the officers and the people that are supervising them will then have an evaluation of where these people at and what their needs are.
Right.
And that's another way to hold the state of Connecticut accountable for addressing
That's
our
pivotal.
needs.
I mean, because that's a big deal. Like you said, it's never been done
Never
before.
been done.
And we have a lot of people that have mental health issues that's never been addressed
Never.
properly.
No.
So having that venting tool to make sure that these people are being evaluated and having lawyers and all these other people checking off their box to make sure that you're suitable coming and you're ready to be in society.
Yeah.
Because the work that you're doing and you're just coming home,
Yeah.
not off, not even a year,
Not yet.
but the checks and balances that you did in your personal life to make sure that you're adequate and that you're stable and willing to embrace your next leg of life.
Yeah.
It is tremendous, man. You know what I'm saying? It says
appreciate
a lot about you, as an individual, and it silenced the naysayers. You know what I'm saying? That these men or you in your own personal life will never come home and correct the ship, so to speak. You know, as a kid, we do kid things, but as adults, we find ourselves doing the manly thing, heading households, making sure that our loved ones know that we're responsible adults stepping back into society, and we don't want nobody giving a black eye to the work to have, you know what I'm saying, everybody grouped in as, you know what I'm saying, misfits or people with an agenda other than the agenda to save lives and help enrich others' lives by moving in the manner in which we move. And it's a great day to be sitting on a couch speaking about helping the next man or the next woman in their flight and straighten the ship, so to speak.
Yeah. And it's historical, bro. Like, you know, we spoke off camera and this is a historical moment.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And when you're doing this, how we've been running, you find very little time to reflect.
Yes.
Over, you know, how the journey is coming together. But, you know, I had one of those moments on the phone. We, you know, as I said, I had one of those moments about, you know, what this says and what is possible and the significance of this on many levels, you know, many on what's possible after prison for I served over 20 years. You served, you know, over 30, like, you know, close to 30 years. So, you know, that's about 55 years of prison just in this conversation.
You're right. Right.
You know what I mean? So just to say what can be accomplished beyond that, and also reclaiming what we need. A lot of things that, you know, I'm a co-writer on this bill, and what I found when I sat down, you know, along with Shelby Henderson, but when I sat down looking at just past the language, I also looked at what was my journey after I got out.
Right.
Like what did I need, but I just couldn't get. And you was one of the people that I used to talk to when it just I didn't know what to do and you was making phone calls, other dudes, and we was trying without really having ownership of anything.
Right.
We trying to cash in favors.
Right.
Yeah, I got a guy, I got a guy, I got a guy.
Right.
And what I was learning during that process, mental health failing,
Yes.
nowhere to go, nowhere to live, circle, you still trying to figure out, where I put my trust. I'm just touching.
Right.
So,
Right.
where you put your trust, you're vulnerable. Safety first all the time when you're moving. So, all of those things is like in your head, but also just the way my mind worked, I also was using it as data.
Right.
I was also collecting information.
Right.
Like, these are the holes.
Right. How can we fill these?
How can we fill
Right.
this hole?
Yes.
So I approached that with that. And for me, mental health was a big one.
Absolutely.
Because you don't got insurance. You don't got none
Right.
of these things. You go to some of these places, it's not a good fit.
Right.
They don't really speak to this type of trauma.
Right.
You know what I mean? So where are the people that's working on the issues that come out of where we coming from? So, having that specific evaluation, I find a lot of people, these brothers is killing themselves, self-sabotaging themselves because their
Yes.
mind ain't right.
Right.
Like, it's mental health, bro. After all that time, you still put yourself in bad predicaments, around bad people, bad places, bad things. Something ain't connecting.
I wholeheartedly believe and everything you touched on is like, you know what I'm saying, spot on, because I said when I came home, I don't know my triggers.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know what I'm saying, what I don't know. Like, being away for so long is a scary thing, coming back into society when you want to do right, but not furnish the tools to do right. So how can I build myself for success? Because if you don't have a community and people who are in position to aid you in your endeavors, how does this look? We're treading in unfamiliar territory, in the sense that as kids we may have touched the system, come home, and fall right back into the same mold of people and in the same community doing the same things, getting the same result. And this time, it was different because we were stripped away for something that we didn't do. So it was a aha moment, one of the moments that where you arrive to understand that something is broken and you have to fix multiple things, yourself and the system that did you wrong.
Yeah.
So we had to become educated, then understand Latin, going through the Black Law Dictionary, knowing what these words mean, because words are powerful, as we know now. And to say the wrong word can spiral your whole life out of control when you meant something totally different. So understanding the power of language, and then getting a hold of the contents of law. Like, we're not Harvard educated, we're not Yale educated, we're coming from the hood, urban settings, to whereas all we know is what we know. The four corners of our habitat we've grown up in. So to take higher learning and utilize this as our weapon versus the weapons that we were hurled and were placed in our hands as tools of destruction. Now we're using books as our weapon, and to get our life back, to reclaim something that was stripped from us unwanted is amazing.
Yeah.
And to come home and fight for other people that's voiceless, where nobody's listening to their pain, the issues that plagued them, the mental health issues that plagued them, and making people aware of that person may have did something wrong and he needs to pay the price for that. But the ultimate price was society failing them.
Exactly.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
Not giving them an opportunity to win from the gate. But now you have these men standing up, coming home and doing great things. Take a look at that. Because it wasn't no incentive but the incentive from their self telling them, I want to do better. I deserve better. So it thrusts them, you know what I'm saying, and thrusts us to move all together in a different light, changing people, places, and things. And deeply regretting turning to the streets or moving in a manner would allow people to set us up and take our lives in the manner in which they did.
Yeah.
And then for the people that may have did their crime, they did it out of a sense of urgency, not understanding the gravity of what they was doing, majority of time. And them people, I believe, deserve a chance of redemption.
Yeah. An example is powerful, bro. Like, I often tell people, right, I had a life sentence, and on top of that, I was indicted federally. I had a 17-year federal sentence. And I often tell people that there was no gun that took my life, right? It was a pen, bro.
Yeah.
Right? It was the most powerful weapon ever used against me. And I've been in some tight spots, but the most powerful weapon I used against me was a pen, bro. It took a signature, bro, and your life was gone.
Yeah.
And a signature, and your life was back.
Yeah.
And so that those examples of how important learning, education, not giving up, you know, those. That's what I'm inspired by. That's what I try to do the work with, like, because it's inspirational in a lot of ways,
right?
Like, you know, and it keeps the compass set at the right place. If you surround yourself by, like, this is why, bro. And you know, I said it before to you, like, it's hard to find worth in decades of incarceration.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to find, like, worth, because, and the thing about it is, like any opportunity, when it passed you, you don't know what you lost because you didn't take advantage of it.
Right.
So and you don't know if it's gonna come back. Decades of incarceration, you can't measure that.
Right.
Because you're just in there, so you don't know what would have came to be. So, you know, taking advantage of this moment, like many of us are, and advocating is strong, bro. Because it's a lot of other things dudes could do.
True indeed.
So, you know, the sacrifices and you know, it's just one of those moments where we just need all hands on deck, like all of the whatever, because our relationships are bad. We need to really work on that. But if we could just come together and say this is an opportunity to close to 700 people becoming eligible for release, I have not seen happen in the state of Connecticut at one time. I even heard, not even people, I'm pretty sure they attempted, and maybe it just didn't rise to the level of people would know.
Right.
You know, but this is one that has the possibility to happen tomorrow.
Right, right. That in itself speaks volumes for our community to show up and show out for this initiative, man. Of reclaiming brothers' lives and sisters' lives that otherwise been forgotten. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a sad state of affairs for society in its whole, because look what you can be missing out on. The next great Einstein, you know what I'm saying? The next great, you know what I'm saying? Somebody.
Because they in there.
Yeah.
We seen them.
What? Listen, man.
We seen they in there. It's really, and I tell people, it's like, what you do have, what you are able to see here from people that have been through the system that are doing well. And, you know, they coaches, they entrepreneurs, you know, you got brothers in the fashion, Lord, them dudes in the fashion, you know, podcasting, on the legal side, some of these brothers became lawyers and stuff. Like, we are not exceptions.
Right. No.
We just had opportunity.
Right.
And you know, yes, says you exonerated, so it ain't even an opportunity. It's what was due.
Right.
Some dudes is getting a second chance. I'm advocating for second chances, and then we got another layer of this is correcting what was wrong.
Right.
And giving a brother what was due. That's separate. That's a whole
another fight.
Whole nother fight.
Issue, yeah.
You know, this is advocating for some people that's ready to take accountability, and for some of them get their first chance. Like you said, they ain't even had. They forget the second chance. Some of them ain't had the first chance.
Yeah.
You know, they came out here with a foot in the can already.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? So, you know, it's just amazing to be able. It's just amazing to be able to do it.
I mean, what can one say to a person who has experienced prison on the level that you have, and then be blessed with their life and then dedicate their life to helping others? Like, that's a special person.
It is.
Because many times, too often, people are like, yo, man, I'm home, man. I don't want to tangle with these people. Look what they did to me. I mean, and they're paralyzed to whereas they can't move left or right. But you choose to stand on your own too, in your own, you know what I'm saying, confidence, and understand that not only are you enriching other lives, but you enriching your own life at the same time, because the level of care and what you place into helping others is directly reflected back to you. And it's therapeutic in the sense of the mental health. It's like a self-healing type situation, I believe.
Yeah. It is, and it get heavy too, because it's all trauma.
Yeah,
like all
absolutely.
we do is take in trauma, and you know, one thing I do want to say, you know, before we get off here is that as we come out, right, the last piece of this is how people come out.
Yeah.
Right, get eligibility, parole board determines suitability, and we did as best as we could to ensure, you know, things are happening. And the last piece is like community.
Yes.
Like how people come out, how, like where these people gonna live, like, you know, who's hiring. And one thing that I've learned that I just want people to hear is and it won't apply to all the viewers, but people that have been through it and do this type of work, things that you do, things that I do, it's not a lot of worth in our lived experience. Right. When you go to some of these places, they don't know how to value what you've been through. How much is that worth?
Right.
For me to tell you this journey and relive it and re-traumatize it and then put things in place that maybe I don't got the paper to say I do, but you can't learn what I know.
No, it's not.
You can't. You just can't get it how I got it.
Right.
And I tell brothers this, because I want to get involved. Be prepared how they devalue you.
Yeah.
And then find ways to create value for your own experience.
Yes.
Like, don't wait.
Yeah.
Don't wait, bro. And
Act now.
Act now on how you're gonna value your own, whatever you want to do.
Right.
Well, I don't care if it's open a laundromat, car. I don't care what it is. Your journey, because of your journey, you're gonna be devalued at banks trying to get a loan.
Yeah.
Housing trying to get a mortgage. Like because you just haven't put it in like the system wants you to.
Right.
So
because it wasn't predicated on us coming back.
We've been pushed out.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's like, yo, they got 85, 95, 65, 120. These are years that you can't start nor finish. And they didn't understand that they was dealing with fighters, people that's not going to give up,
and that's
proving
valuable.
their innocence.
That's valuable.
So we coming home, we're not giving up on those that's left behind, knowing that there's not only great minds, but there's road for redemption. There's a road for people, you know what I'm saying, to change the narrative, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to allow anybody to write the narrative of my story.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know my self-worth. I know I'm greater than what you portrayed me to be. And that doesn't sit well with me. So I'm going to show you who I am. I'm going to stand up and be accounted for. And
that's powerful.
That's what you, Natural, Sheen, Brother Maurice, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And countless others are doing. We're dedicating our life for the better good of humanity. We're saying, listen, yes, there's a debt to be paid for whatever happened, how it happened. That's not for us, you know what I'm saying, to decide. But we know after that debt's paid, allow these men and women to straighten the ship and prove, you know what I'm saying, their self-worth.
Yeah, that they
and
deserve
that
a chance.
they deserve a second chance.
And that debt is serious, bro. We talking, you know, these under this bill, you know, you're gonna serve 60% of your time, bro. And if you think about the sentences that the court is handing out, you still talking a lot of time. Yeah, you still getting your pound of flesh, for lack of a better term. So some of these men that are in this hundreds men and women that would become eligible, we talking about people that have been in jail 40 years,
37
bro.
years.
37 years.
40 years.
Yeah, we visiting those brothers that don't have been in 40, committed a crime when they was 22 years old, 21 years old. You know what I mean? A kid by most people's standards.
You couldn't get in most clubs.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Until you're 25.
Couldn't even rent a car.
Right.
Couldn't even rent a car, bro, because the same science that we study, that's one of the places we looked at. How did they get the age that you need to be 25 in order to rent a car on your own? We looked at that. Why? And they went into the limbic system and cognitive behaviors, and can you foresee danger and things like that. And for them, in the auto industry, rental plane for insurance purposes, they said 25, this man is mature enough to come here, rent one of our vehicles and leave.
Yes.
But at 18, I'll give you 100 years.
Yeah.
Disregard that science. So, the science is important, but some of these men, bro, it's 40, 50 years, bro. They was kids when they did this. That's why this is important. They have no other way out. That there's nothing else going on. And we've been looking. There is nothing else that they are taking seriously.
Right.
I'm not gonna say nothing, because people are trying to chip and sentencing statutes and modification. Can we do? But I'm saying something that can impact them immediately.
Right.
That at least you'll have a shot, and that's the only thing you can do. Because without it, bro, we just gonna answer the phones. They're going to live through you.
Right.
Can you try to get me a lawyer? Like all the things that have, or just imagine 40 years in prison, bro. Imagine how many lawyers you had. How many habeas you file. How many, like it comes a point where it's like, I don't know what I could do for you, bro.
Right. I'm spinning my wheels.
Like because it's, to take on that type of friendship and responsibility to accept that, which many of us do, and to find the time to be like, I'm going to dive into the 40 years of your case history.
So check it. Not to cut you off. It is deep what you just touched on. So close your eyes, right? And think of yourself on the Titanic and it's sinking. And you asking somebody to throw you a lifeline. Help me. Help me. And you see these hands reaching out for you to be helped, but you pull them back and let that person drown. Flip that and utilize that for the people that's incarcerated, that was children hurled into their reality. And like we understand, it's a debt that has to be paid. We get that. But at the end of the day, you're dealing with somebody that's human.
Yeah.
That's a human being that has seen the error of their ways after 20, 30 years. You're not the same person, and if you're the same person,
you won't get out, bro.
Then you won't get out.
Not how this bill is, and I'm glad you said that, because if you have not demonstrated that, and you are a threat to public safety,
that's where you belong at.
Then they're not gonna let you out, bro.
I mean,
so like we say hundreds are eligible. You're not gonna hear me say a number that's gonna be released.
Right.
I hope the overwhelming majority of them brothers have been doing something with themselves, getting programming, and sit there and act like they got some sense.
Yeah.
But I also live in reality. I've been in there.
Right.
So I know some I know some brothers like, bro, your opportunity coming, and you may not be ready.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're gonna give you another hearing. I don't know. This calls for one
shot.
That's all we could have gotten. One, maybe, down the line they could say you could come back, but that's all up to that's all their discretion. They may say come back next year.
Yeah.
They may say come back in 2 or 5 years, but they may tell you
you're not ready.
You're not ready, and go on back. And that's gonna happen. Like, we're gonna watch these hearings and you're gonna say, damn, they ain't even give brother another date. But one thing, if we're watching that, and as dissatisfying as that's gonna be, and hurtful, because we're gonna know some of those brothers. Yeah. One thing that we can take some pleasure. You had a chance, and we played a role in that. Right. We came out. We advocated for you, bro. I couldn't answer every phone call.
No.
I couldn't send all that. I couldn't go see. But one thing I did, bro, is we advocated for you, bro. Even if I never spoke to you. We advocated for you.
I don't know you.
I advocated for you, bro. And you got benefit of my sacrifice and my advocacy, you benefited from. Now, the rest of this equation is
It's
you.
on you. It's what you do. Because when we was in that war, behind that war, we chose to separate ourselves from foolishness. We chose, you know what I'm saying, to get to books that's gonna teach us something and around people that's smarter than us.
Yeah.
To teach us what we need to know, you know what I'm saying, and how to work through and get where we need to go. And we're gonna do the work. We did the work.
Yeah.
We looked ourselves, we stood in the mirror and looked that man in the face and said, you know what? I don't like that person. I don't like the remnants of that person. So I gotta change. I gotta change what's in me for other people to see the change. And now I gotta incorporate that into my daily living because I gotta believe that I'm worth it and I'm different. Because it's not enough just to show somebody you different and you're doing, you gotta put that work in.
Yeah.
That work is what counts because it's a litany of work, a body of work that's been placed in front of people when they see Mr. Jordan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
He ain't come to play no games, no.
Nah.
You know what I mean? You can't just sit and tell me because I know you that you're gonna get me, you know what I'm saying, accompany you in some nonsense.
Nah.
I'm not signing off on that, man. You ain't ready, man.
Yeah.
Get your life right, man. This is too serious a fight to be playing games.
It's historical, bro.
What? I ain't got no times for foolishness, man.
Wow.
If you ain't come to do the right thing, man, get out the way, man, and stay where you at, man.
Yeah, and I wish you the best.
Yes.
And I still wish you the best. But this can't be diverted.
No, for nobody or nothing,
nah,
man.
We can't. We got it.
Because the purpose is great.
Yeah.
It's lives at stake, man.
Yeah.
It's people that want to do the great things that God has put them on earth to do. And yo, if you in the way, move out the way, man.
I thought about that too, bro. I went to that, to the brother modification. Spoke to the prosecutor. I think he was in it like 40 periods, like 40
Mr.
years.
Period.
Yeah.
40 years almost.
Yeah, I'm not sure like his age at the time. And I just knew him in passing, but I had good interactions and he was a conversating man. So, just human being actions. I'm missing this.
Right.
He take care, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like those things that you appreciate and you need and being treated humanely.
Yes.
And so I didn't know him beyond that.
Right.
Right. But I see the way he carries himself and, asked me, can I support it? And could we talk to the prosecutor? No problem. I come out and I had a conversation with him. And I thought about it while I was sitting there watching this. The prosecutor opposed it officially. And I sat there and I'm like, it's brothers like this that's trying to find this out that this bill, but if this bill ends it, this bill, he's eligible. You know what I mean? It's like I don't gotta come put on the dog and pony. Then, because he's there and he's making these arguments about I didn't have a ticket. He had a ticket in 20 years. He did all these programs. He worked. He got all this good time. They said that he saved somebody's life in prison, so he got like all of this marital credit. I didn't even know nothing about this, but they said he got it back. And I'm thinking 40-something years old, he's not doing well. And I'm looking, I'm like, this is a parole hearing. This is he's suitable.
He's a prime candidate.
Yeah, and
you couldn't ask for a person that's more stellar. You know what I'm saying?
And he's in a place where it's all about, the challenge of law. So what he's accomplished takes a back seat to that.
Right.
Because they're arguing, is it and I was like, bro, this is why this is so important. Because he need to be at a different place.
Yes.
He need to be before people that this is all this is about.
Yeah.
Are you a risk to public safety?
Right.
What have you done with yourself? He checks all of those boxes.
Like, and above.
Yeah.
Like, here's a person who, me and him were cellies, and the level of respect that he exudes to staff and his fellow comrades is above reproach. Even when they're not warranted, he showed respect. It was like, yo, I don't agree with that, man. I'm gonna move on. He sees something wrong, and he'll call him on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna talk to the warden. I'm gonna talk to the captain. He went through the chain of commands to try to remedy a situation that was wrong. He aided young men to become men. I seen these things. So if you speak of a person that's well deserving of reclaiming his life after 40 years, it's him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And there's many others that's in there that's been down 35, you know what I'm saying, 40 years.
That's why
Brother Minister.
Yeah, Brother Minister,
You know what I'm
since
saying?
1960. My grandfather.
Who taught
since 1966.
people to read
Yeah.
that couldn't read, and seeing these brothers, you know what I'm saying, walk across the stage and get their diploma, you know what I'm saying?
That's why this is important, bro.
Like,
That's why we can't play like that. That's what gives. That's what I'm talking about when I say another shot.
yes.
You know what I mean? Like these brothers at their age
Right.
are gonna start to get letters, bro.
Yes. Yes.
They're gonna start to get letters to say, bro, you got a hearing coming.
Right.
Like that's why we can't drop the ball because we know what it is, bro.
And you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't never want to taint, you know, our conversations, man, we have behind the scenes. It's like, if you here for the glitz and the glamour of being in front of a camera or whatever, you here for the wrong reasons, man.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's bigger than any one person. It's to the fact that when you say somebody's life is at liberty, the conversation changes. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if it doesn't resonate in you, there's something wrong. You know what I'm saying? If you're not moved to do something to aid these people that we have, I mean, because we're not putting these men name on our tongue just because it's fly talk or we got a oath to somebody, you know what I'm saying? Because my name and my word is everything. If I speak on this, it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no accolades. I don't want nothing. You know what I'm saying? But you to always be like, that's the truth. And he stand on that, and it's always been what he said it was.
Yeah.
So if I say that these men are some great men, I stand behind that 100%. And these men are worthy of society allowing them to be a part of the fabric on which they say that you're given a second chance in life.
Yeah. And they pose no
threat to nobody.
to public safety.
These men is off in their 60s,
yeah,
70s.
That's what I mean. And I think that like that's kind of what is also lost in this because of the age that we saw, that 25 and under. One effective point that the opposition to this bill was able to do is keep the public or make the image of the bill that person.
Yeah.
And that's really not true.
No, it's
because the
bigger than
face
that
of
person.
the face of what this is gonna do are the men we're talking about.
Yeah.
The men we talking about, bro, they the older, Musa, all them, like, just think about all them dudes that's working on the cases 30, 40, 50, 20. These are the men. It's gonna take a long time before that 25-year-old kid that they're still giving 60 years, 70, 50 years to. This won't benefit him.
Just a long time.
And to get people to understand that. Like, they're so afraid that, this kid is gonna get off or he's coming.
No.
That's not the face of the bill.
No.
The face of the bill is the people we talking about.
Right.
The men that have been in 40, 30, old men, some of them in medical.
Yes.
You know what I mean? All of that, bro. They don't got another option. And we know these men. And that's why I be so happy is like, because everybody could tell a story about a celly or the old man in the block that tell you. And like, bro, they need it, bro.
Yeah.
And they need community to tomorrow, bro. We gotta be there because they can't. If they open the door and said, just to that group, you could come to the Capitol, them dudes would be there, bro.
ASAP.
They would be there.
More than happy to.
And that's what I say, and that's the response. We got, and not just justice impacted people, but these people, family, their kids, they grandkids, I can imagine, for a lot of them, is that we just gotta say, people, a part of this requires accountability. It's the first measure when you go to the parole board under this bill. How have you shown accountability and remorse?
Right.
So that's required.
Right.
So this doesn't duck accountability.
Right.
It's a requirement.
Right.
Just like a mental health evaluation.
Right.
It's a requirement.
Right.
I don't want to see nobody. It's required, bro. We need it.
Yeah.
We need, not for them, for you, bro.
Right.
We need you to be evaluated because it's tough out here. So these things, like, they're mandated, bro. Like, there's no option to it, So it's a lot of checks and balances for and most people with comments like the brothers we talking about, like they're gonna do all of that.
Absolutely.
They check all of that.
Absolutely. It's not one check box that they're not going to check off to your satisfaction.
Yeah, they're gonna check it
and
off.
it's not a Johnny come lately type thing. To whereas, they got this in the mail, and now they're all of a sudden changing, their ways. No, these brothers put in the work for the last 30 years, and helping and showing that they've changed and that they deserve the opportunity to get their life, to reclaim their life. Listen, if this world was predicated on no chance for nobody, it'd be a lot more people, in jail and not walking around in the Capitol and a lot of other places that done made some grave mistakes in their life. Nobody's with a silver spoon or without fault and doing something foolish as a child or just downright wrong. Know what I'm saying? Nobody's trying to escape that. What we're trying to do is show you that after the payday of you paying your debt to society, because nobody has a paintbrush to say, oh, you got to do 50 years for your debt to be repaid. If I do 30, 40 years, 25 years.
Yeah, revisit that.
Man, just give me the opportunity to show you what I've done.
Yeah, and if I haven't done it,
right, then so be it. I got to stay here and do more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got more work to do.
Yeah.
But give me the opportunity to show you I truly mean and I get the error of my ways.
And I think that's just recognizing humanity.
That's it.
We calling it law, but just recognizing that the humanity in people that in time, we often say because people change, so should the laws. That's what's on these shirts we wear.
Yes.
Because people change, so should the laws. And we see that often, right? We see that. We see over time, people like us wouldn't be able to do things like we ain't have, but people change and laws have changed and evolved, sometimes for the for the bad, sometimes for the good, and the fight continues. But for some of these men, tomorrow
is the day.
it's saying, and it's hundreds, bro. And tomorrow is the day, and I just think for these months, close to a year, I haven't been out a year, but for this time, everybody that allowed us a voice, allowed us to sit on a platform, had came out to a community meeting, and we in neighborhoods. I go to neighborhood. I want to go where these people family is at, and I do it all across this state.
Right.
And everybody that came out one time, every time for a half hour, I gotta go. I just want to thank people because it matters, because we dealing with people, like you said, their lives is on the line and they don't have the ability to do it. Right. So if you were able to come and say, I'm here because, and we hear that often, I hear, my boy in Osborne told me this was going on. I'm emailing here, and we are accessible, so I just want to thank people, man. And tomorrow is the day of that journey. It's the last day. Yeah. It's not a period on the work, but for this is where we gonna find out. And if not, then we need to know who to hold accountable.
Right.
Because at one point, it was yeses.
Yeah.
And I don't name names because you don't need to out. Right. So you need to just see, are you true to what you told us in these rooms?
Right.
Because I'm telling this community we got a shot. So when I'm telling them to come out, and if I had 100 no's, I wouldn't tell the community to come out.
Right.
Because we ain't got a shot.
Right.
But the only reason I'm here is because I'm telling you, bro, we got a shot.
Right.
And I'm telling you that because of what I know.
Right.
And what I am involved in, what I'm hearing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Process.
So, and if it doesn't go that way, then we need to hold people accountable.
Now, one more question. For the men and women that think that bill or this bill will immediately release anybody is just flat out wrong.
It's a false narrative. It's misinformation. It's a lie. It's not rooted in truth. This is a 1 year, if they're deemed suitable. And that's if you're deemed suitable.
Right.
It's
not a guarantee.
It's a 1 year process. And like I said earlier, there are several evaluations that must be done. And prior to this bill, some of them didn't have to. The main one was mental health. And you got to think about that. We 2026. The parole board has been pushing people out for decades. They've never been required to visit somebody's mental health until now.
Right.
And we scream mental health.
Right.
We don't know what decades of incarceration has done to people.
Absolutely.
But so it's checks and balances. It's a 1 year process. Reports have to be made. This is all public information. And then they have their day. And then even after that 1 year, and you go to your hearing after all these people see you, the parole board still sets a date.
Right.
That date may be another year.
Right.
They have the discretion in that.
Right.
They may say, all right, yes, it's January. We deem you suitable. You'll be released September 1st. Right. So in that instance, that's almost a 2 year period.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and that's what people need to understand.
Right.
The parole board controls
is the final say
of that,
on who comes home or what have you.
Sometimes you gotta wait 4 months.
Right.
We know people that waited 6 months.
Absolutely.
And they still happy, like, bro, I got my date.
Yeah.
But they didn't leave tomorrow.
Right. They still got work to do.
You just told me you was exonerated and had to wait months.
Absolutely.
You was exonerated.
Yes.
And didn't leave the next day.
Absolutely.
And that's what people need to understand. Is like, this doesn't happen like that.
It's not a quick process.
Nah, if it ain't for you, how's it gonna be for them?
Right.
You was exonerated, bro, and stayed in there for months.
Right. Exactly. I mean, for those that don't understand, it's nothing fast about the system.
Nothing.
And I just pray and hope that people take this serious enough to where as they come out, show up and show out for those that they love, and those that are friends to the bill, and people that may have been on the fence.
Come out.
Just come out and understand that nobody is trying to push people out that's not deserving. We're trying to get the people that's well deserving and who has paid a heavy debt to society and to the victims first and foremost, the victims at hand, whatever crime may have taken place. And it's no group of people that's being targeted or but at the end of the day, the parole board has the final say on who's being released. But you have the mental health aspect of everything. You have the attorneys that's making sure that all the checks and balances have been checked off and nobody's weaseling their way through the cracks, so to speak. So, Mr. Jordan, man, I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you too,
clarifying these things, letting the public know. We still need them.
Yeah. And one day I will say, if anything we've said, and I hope we have said things in this conversation that makes you care about, justice and fairness and healing and second chances, May 6th at 300 Capitol Avenue in Hartford at the LOB is a place to demonstrate that action. That's the action step. And we can hold people accountable with their vote. But I ask you to be there. I ask you to stay involved. And if you need transportation, please contact us at guided.bypurpose on Instagram, Coalition for Healing and Justice on Instagram, and Coalition for Healing and Justice at Gmail, or the Full Citizens on the same.